Welcome to Podcast X, Y, and Z.
Yo,
the world's number fun video game podcast. Andrew Matthew, how you doing?
Election day, baby.
Election day.
We voted.
I voted.
If you're listening, you
flag,
can't
I voted.
It's also a birthday day for our very own Josh Kirby.
Shout out to Josh Kirby, Tier 3 patron over at patreon.com, and the wonderful creator of our intro.
It's amazing.
I love it so much. I got a lot of good feedback from it.
It's so
people.
good. So happy birthday, Kirby.
Josh, we love you.
And happy birthday, Election Day. America, communism is cool.
Not how that works, but
I wrote in Fortnite characters for the candidates, so I hope you guys care about that.
Dude, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
We actually have so many things.
But I'm so glad some people are joining us live on YouTube so they can be part of the conversation. So as we bring this stuff up, feel free to offer your thoughts. We'll jump into some news, and then we're going to update each other as well as our audience on our Red Dead Redemption 2 trials,
life,
struggles, tribulations, journeys,
concerns,
evolution, love interests, drama, politics.
We're going to do
whiskey,
accents.
All that stuff.
Come here, girl.
But let's jump into some news. Number one, what happened in Fortnite, Andrew Matthew?
Let's talk. There's Fortnite, man.
Let me paint you a picture. Okay? Fortnite event is advertised for quite some time and at quite the capacity. One of our patrons and I, Rosser, were driving. We were driving while this was happening. So he was live Twitch streaming this Fortnite event that no one knows what's going to happen. They just know that something is going to happen, right?
Right.
So everybody is logged into this game, and there are millions of people watching millions of people play this game.
Crazy.
It's very historic. As far as video games are concerned, it's something I'm really not familiar with.
Everything Fortnite does is historic at this point.
Okay, that's very true. Good point. Okay, so did you see it?
Not live.
You didn't see it live, but you've seen the gameplay. Okay. So this event, this special Purple Cube Goes Bye-Bye event lasted about
30 seconds.
Yeah, they said it was going to last 5 minutes. I think that is including 4.5 minutes of hype. And like the cubes. Okay, so let me just try to convey what happened. The cube that's been there for a while, in the middle of Loot Lake, slowly started buzzing, then it floated up in the air, then it disappeared, and then everyone in the lobby in that game
went to the Matrix.
Went to the butterfly Matrix.
It was weird.
And it was weird. And maybe pointless?
Well, hold on. Okay. Yeah, so that's the rundown of what actually happened. Are we doing thoughts now? We could talk about opinions?
Yeah.
Because when you texted me about it, I was trying to get impressions about if you hated it or loved it. And I know we've talked in the past about our frustrations with Fortnite. So if you're listening, you're watching, you know that we've had some problems, some issues with Fortnite. And you were pretty clear that you were not buying it.
No.
Not buying the 30 seconds of hype.
No.
Now, here's where podcast X, Y, and Z gets interesting.
Okay.
I loved it.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So I just think it's very cool that a live event is happening. Now, okay, the specifics
I agree with that.
A butterfly in the Matrix, blah, blah, blah. We don't care. I don't care. I don't care. What I love is that millions of people are doing it.
No, I know.
At the same time.
But I love that too, Andrew.
And if you don't get on, you don't see it.
You miss it.
That's awesome.
No.
That's like Club Penguin, what it should have been.
So I texted you and I said, what are video games even?
Yeah, you said, what's the culture like? What is culture anymore?
I said, what is video game culture? And in a good way. I love that happened. I was telling Rosser, one of our patrons, I said, that is so weird and stupid, but I love that is what this world is doing right now.
Oh, so you didn't tell me that.
No, I didn't. No,
You're saving your thoughts for this video.
Yeah, I was. I love the art style of it. I love what happened. But the reason I'm still ultimately disappointed is that I don't want to go back and play the game.
Okay.
Guess what has changed in the game?
Okay.
Not really much.
Nothing.
Like the lake is now puddles.
Nice little serene area.
They made the lake puddles. There was some drainage.
Little drainage. A big update comes out. Drainage. Okay.
And now there are challenges called Lil Kev challenges because that's what the community nicknamed the Purple Cube. And it's cool. I like that they're being weird.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as big as the hype around it. They marketed hype for weeks.
Yeah.
This event will change everything. That's an exact quote.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
It changed nothing, Andrew.
Yeah.
It changed nothing. It was a fun 30 seconds, and I was like, whoa, millions of people are watching millions of people play a video game.
Yeah.
But now it feels like it might as well never have happened. I don't want to go back and play.
Yeah. I mean, I think the idea of a live event that changes the actual game mechanics for a moment is kind of game changing.
Sure.
Now, I know what you're wanting is lasting impact, lasting change. But Fortnite, what Fortnite does is it gives you a shot of things every week.
That's true.
It changes things. I mean, there's zombies in the game now. Now, have you played with the zombies in?
I have hated it.
Now
they're gone.
Now they're gone. Yeah. It's just weird. Every week it's a kind of a different experience. So the idea of them bringing it together for like a season finale, kind of like TV-esque, tune in, but you're playing.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool, and I hope there are more differences that remain to be seen. Okay.
Yeah, so the problem is if you go into the game expecting to see something and someone kills you, that's probably the worst. We have a comment saying, I loaded into a game and 99 people dropping me surrounding Loot Lake. We all had weapons, and for 3 minutes, enemies and I dropped our guns and watched the event. It was special and solely to conclude the Cube storyline.
Yeah.
I would be nervous that someone would shoot me, but that idea is very cool.
And the Twitch stream I watched, that happened, and it was so cool to watch. But I thought I was watching the beginning of a movie.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I would argue that they marketed it as a beginning of something.
So you're frustrated with how they presented it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know it was an ending to something. I thought it was a beginning to something. And maybe that's on me. I get that. But the zombies I had a hard time with. I didn't like that I saw a human figure in the game making noise coming towards me, and then it was a waste of my time. I felt I like the zombies in Blackout. That's just where I'm at. But anyway, I love that it happened. I just wish
it is weird. I mean, like we can agree that it was super weird. Yeah, and it was like out of nowhere. Yeah, and it wasn't just like a normal. I mean, I don't know. Like, has any other video game done that? Like,
absolutely not.
This is new territory, and so to think that like new territory is a cube disappearing into butterfly matrix is now the standard kind of bothers me.
Yeah. Well, and this is the finale to the cube story. What's the cube story? What is the cube story? I mean, did it used to be a rectangle, Andrew?
And then getting heated.
What sort of cube story? Unbelievable. Like, I'm sorry, but
we're gonna have a funeral for
this white butterfly signals the end of a square. What? What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, and then that's what I'm saying. Like, the standard for video games and live events now is Fortnite. And if you were to talk now 20 years from now and you're like, do you remember when that cube died? Like, that was video games?
Right. And that's where I'm at. I'm just like, okay, that was silly. Whatever. Everybody's enjoying Fortnite. Again, I need a map change or something big for me to come back.
But here's the thing, though. We sit here. We talk about this week after week. Yeah. We present these things. And Fortnite keeps kind of getting bigger.
Which is weird.
Which is weird to me. Yeah. Because it just continues, it will continue to roll. And we've even talked about the downfall of Fortnite, but here we are.
Right. It remains to be seen, I think. Long-term trajectory.
The butterfly is a rift. Rifts and cubes are just a storyline that you didn't experience, so it makes less sense to you. You're being called out by Fortnite players.
And I totally am, and I get that. But it was not marketed to Fortnite players. It was marketed to the entire world. If you're not going to want to miss this.
Sam, Caleb Pearson is upset with marketing, not game mechanics.
I'd agree with that. Let's stamp that. Let's that on a t-shirt.
So, but also they've made another partnership with NFL.
Yes. So now they partner with NFL, and I actually don't know the specifics of this, Andrew. Is it free skins?
Yeah, you put your jersey on people. I'm pretty sure it's free.
I can go in and shop around whatever jersey I want.
I think that because even though you've disowned the Packers, I think you can still put the Packers.
Yeah, well, it's ironic. Guess what I care about less than Fortnite? The National Football
League. So we just have cynical Caleb around today. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, yeah. No, I'm cynical.
But okay, just roll with this for a second.
Okay.
Even though
it's a cube, it doesn't roll.
I know. Okay. But even if it's as stupid as like Candy Crush or something, and I'm not trying to compare it to a mobile game.
I got you.
But it's kind of silly and it's kind of flashy. Let's roll with this.
Okay.
The NFL is partnering with Fortnite,
and that's big. That's a big deal.
But that's not a sentence. That's not a sentence you would say with Call of Duty, with Halo, with anything. I mean, this is, if anything, a bridge between the few. Like, this is crazy, and it's happening so almost nonchalantly. Yeah, we're reading these articles. We're like, oh yeah, and Fortnite.
It's like randomly at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Partner with NFL. Yeah. If we heard this 4 years ago at E3, this would have been Microsoft's biggest selling point. Listen, we're partnering with the National Football League,
and Madden sales continue to decline. Like, it's weird. partnerships are changing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, which is great. It's great, Andrew.
It's great. You're just like,
but I feel like I still feel like it's great potential.
Yeah, no, I
Does that make sense?
I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely things to look forward to.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's just like Fortnite's the culture.
It's wow. Yeah, it's crazy. So we'll see. Number 2, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Call of Duty Black Ops 4 ranking system woes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna read an article from Kotaku.
Woes.
That they are reporting on the new contraband stream progression system, similar to none other than Fortnite. Instead of, and I quote, the supply drop random loot boxes of previous Call of Duty games, Black Ops 4 adopted a different approach for earning new cosmetic gear. Contraband Stream, which is an event-based progression system that rewards players for playing standard multiplayer and Blackout. During these limited time events, players can level up through the stream's tiers, and in so doing unlock items such as face paints, character skins, emotes, what have you. If you'd rather just skip all the playing and buy the items outright, you can. Originally, this mode was praised as the newly introduced stream for being a similar progression system as Fortnite's Battle Pass. You're not forced to buy anything extra, and everyone can earn the items simply by playing. It all sounds great until you dump a ton of hours into the game and realize you haven't progressed very far at all. Hit me.
So, first thought, without even thinking or doing follow-up research or even playing to figure it out, I kind of immediately had a pit in my stomach that thought, worst case scenario, Battlefront loot boxes. Like, EA bad. Now, this is without research. This is without following through, but, like, reading that and, like, hearing what people are saying, it's like, I almost, like, lost my breath, like, oh, shoot, this better not be EA level loot boxes. And I'm not sure, like, specifics. I saw a passing article about the breakdown for hours, and I get it. It's like, it's not essential like it was for EA's Battlefront. Like, with Battlefront, you needed to put in hundreds of hours or pour hundreds of dollars to get necessary players to be able to win in a game. It's different now. Now it's cosmetic. Right. Fortnite skins. And if we think about the pricing model for Fortnite, it's not cheap either.
Right.
A skin is $20. Yeah. So if we think about it, it's like, it's not ever really fair. But I think what is frustrating is when we talk about Fortnite being culture, when we talk about things we almost, I don't know, I wish that people treated things differently. Like, everyone didn't have, like, we love Rocket League, we talk about Rocket League, we played Rocket League for so long. Even Rocket League has a Rocket Pass now. For me, it's, like, frustrating. It's like, I get putting Battle Royale system in, like, I can see that. It's more than just Fortnite, and it always was about that, but when Fortnite does things, it's almost like people are forced into doing these things.
Well, and I would go a step further and say they're not so much forced as they are just blindly following without putting their own identity in it. Okay? Because here's what I've come across. It is not an EA loot box problem. Okay. It is simply a pacing problem. If you played Fortnite, a Battle Pass of Fortnite for 2 weeks straight and only went up 2 tiers, you'd be ticked. Yeah. I think that's what people are experiencing. Yeah. And that stinks. Like, that's so unfortunate that they are... Because, again, Call of Duty having a Blackout Royale mode, people are skeptical and they're thinking, like, I play Fortnite. Like, why do I need to go do that? Right. This is Call of Duty even being a little bit more pathetic and saying, like, we're doing that now, too. Yeah. And so if they're doing it perfectly, I'm fine with it. Yeah. Example, Blackout. I think it's very well done. Right, yeah. And I'm not concerned with them copying Fortnite. I think they have their identity there. Right. But this ranking system stuff, they don't get it. Yeah. Like Fortnite gets it. Yeah. And luckily, I don't even care about the stickers and the graffiti and the... Yeah. Fortnite has a cosmetic appeal. Yeah. Call of Duty does not, in my humble opinion.
Go shoot people, yeah. Absolutely.
So I think people were more so frustrated than up in arms about it. Yeah. But that's not good press. Yeah. Amidst Fortnite getting all these deals and stuff.
And it's crazy because, like, I feel like the game, and we've talked about it, the game had such a good launch. And I'm not saying the game is now tanked, and our opinion about it is different, because the game plays the same, and it's a fun, great game. Now... Also, Red Dead has taken a lot of our time, so we've been playing more of that. But it's not anything to say about Call of Duty. What I think was frustrating is because we've talked about so much, like, man, this Call of Duty had the right launch, had the right idea, like, almost like no hiccups before it. And now it's like, since the game has launched, there's been some, like, iffy things, like, with these servers issues, with these, like, progression systems. It's like, they need to get their stuff together. And that's just straight up. Like, they need to fix or at least address these things more so than just a tweet here and there. Like they need to say like, here's what we're doing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And once I'm off this Red Dead horse, you know,
I'm cringing.
And I wanted to say, no pun intended, but it was intended.
I'm
right?
sure. Yeah, if you said that, it'd be a lie, and you'd lie on camera to all your friends.
So I went with the wink and the click. Anyway,
cool.
I will go back to that game, Black Ops 4.
Absolutely.
But I have not played it in 2 weeks, and if 3 weeks ago you told me that would happen, I would have said no way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I hope they figure it out, and I hope people can appreciate the game for what it is.
Same, dude.
Yeah.
What's next?
Final news story, Andrew, before we talk a little bit about Red Dead and what we've been doing. Smash Brothers is, I would argue, the next reveal and release that I'm excited for.
Okay.
December 7th.
Yeah.
Again, I know we have
Which
Fallout.
is quickly approaching.
We have Fallout and Battlefield coming out, but again, Smash has my attention. Nintendo did their final direct, which is basically a mini E3-esque press conference where they reveal all sorts of news about the game, new characters, new modes, what the game is going to be like, and it's basically an hour-long show where you get
pretty cool.
Get all this stuff.
I didn't watch that either live, but I watched a lot of the press.
And so I watched it. They revealed a couple more characters, bringing the total to 70.
Let's just stop there. 70.
70 characters. Okay.
70.
The original Super Smash Bros. Had 8. Now, I mean, what's your experience with Smash Bros? How excited are you for that game?
I am super excited because when we talked about Mario Party, I've had some experience, but Super Smash Brothers, that's a staple.
Yeah.
And I know Mario Party is, but like Smash Brothers. If you're ever at a person's house, it's like Mario Kart or Smash Brothers. That's how you prove things.
Yeah.
Up until Halo came out. But I have loved what I'm seeing. I've really enjoyed watching this game reveal itself. And I never thought I'd say that about a Nintendo game. The last time I thought this about a Nintendo game was when they first released the Breath of the Wild trailer. And I was like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
And I guess that was recent. But before that, like, when was the last time I was excited about a Nintendo thing? Like the Wii, maybe?
Well, exactly.
I don't know. But honestly, like, a gameplay trailer of Smash Brothers is making me chills.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw, they had like this like World of Light trailer. You saw that one where it was like all these hands coming at you, transported. I was blown. I was like, why am I liking this? Because it's like weird because when you think about Super Smash Bros., I don't think about the story. I don't think about any of the side things. I don't think about unlocking trophies. I think about just getting in there, picking Toon Link, and
watch him out.
Not just saying that for you.
You act like I'm not listening.
Yeah, I know. Picking Link or Captain Falcon and just beating someone else.
70 to choose from, Andrew.
But I'm seeing this, and it's a story-esque feeling of like, shoot, these characters are in trouble. There's new areas. There's new feeling, and I was super excited. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, what were you thinking?
I'm right there with you. I grew up on it on the Wii, and it's funny you mentioned that because there was a gap where no one was excited for Nintendo, and it's basically the entire Wii U generation. But with the Breath of the Wild released last year and with Smash coming out, and now they're working on a new Zelda game, Nintendo is moving swiftly, and they have a Switchly. I should have said Switchly.
Oh my gosh.
Can we edit? No, we can't edit. There's a no editing policy. Raw footage is posted every time.
This is
I would
cringy
have said, so does that Switchly. Okay. They're working on it, and they're putting a lot of effort and time into it, and I'm excited for it. Some of the feedback, negative, that they have been receiving is like some of the game modes seem a little wonky. Like
game modes,
there's a bunch of different stuff now, dude, and different things you can do.
I don't know any of this.
Okay, you can bet, and I'm not even gonna speak intelligently on it because it's so much. But like, you can change like the skill caps on different players if you're playing with them. So if you're playing with friends and one of them's very good, you can basically
no way.
Even
that's not like handicap, like
it kind of is, but it was very different how they were explaining it. The entire menu has changed, the entire way you select, and basically you could filter the game experience a little bit more.
Okay.
Arguably a lot more than you ever had before.
And people are upset about that?
Some people are upset about it, saying it's pointless or it didn't need to happen. But you can still make the game what it always was. You can customize your experience.
Yeah.
So you can avoid the stuff you don't like. But if you want that kind of game mode or that kind of play, you can do it. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Here's my problem. Not even games. This is my problem. This is my rant about consumers.
Okay.
Because let's juxtapose this with Mario Party.
Sure.
when Mario Party came out, there were like people were upset because it was like the same and there wasn't a lot of innovation and it was like a brand new start, but like not a lot was there. And now you have Smash bringing all these new features and characters and things, and people are like, you changed it too much. What can people choose?
They can't.
Why?
No.
Why are people saying one, you don't change it enough, don't sell me the same game, and then saying you've changed it too much? And I understand there's a balance, and I understand that with some video game franchises, there's a lot of expectation with games that have come out every year. I'm talking about Call of Duty, I'm talking about Battlefield, I'm talking about these games that come out very frequently. You have expectation, but with games like Super Smash, I get it, nostalgia, I get it, but that's like the opposite of what people are saying about Mario Party. So like hearing you say that is just like, who are people? Where are these people?
It's all a bunch of hoopla. This game is going to be massive and it's going to be well received. But I just thought it was
Are these so these 70 characters, are they all old, new, are they mixture? Like
it has every character that's ever been there.
Okay.
Plus a lot of new ones.
Ooh.
Like I think so the newest reveals were the piranha plant.
Like what?
The piranha plant from Mario in the little tube.
Yeah, I got it.
Comes up.
That's a character.
Ken from Street Fighter.
Ooh.
Is in it.
That's cool.
And there's just there are more and more characters from outside the direct Nintendo
Kevin
world
from Fortnite.
Are coming.
Can you confirm that?
I can confirm that is not the case. But no, I'm excited for it. That's coming so quickly, and it'll be interesting to see what sort of Black Friday stuff they do around that promotion. And Switch sales and all that stuff.
I'm interested. Like 2019, they've already they've already released all their big titles. Like what comes next for them?
Right, and they'll work on DLC.
Yeah.
For Smash specifically, they will work on that very hard. I don't know where they're at with their other like Splatoon and more cartoony kind of games. I'm sure they'll be working on sequels for those.
I hope they start to market some really big third-party games.
And again, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. They're marketing hardware spring 2019.
Yeah.
So it's just weird to see what. And again, Nintendo, nobody knows what they're doing until they do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I thought it was interesting. But
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Andrew Matthew.
That's me.
Red Dead Redemption 2, we've been playing it.
No.
Yeah, a lot.
yeah.
A lot. And we actually just finished a review.
What?
A Red Dead Redemption 2 review. Media Interactive.
Video review.
And you did such a good job editing that thing.
Oh, stop.
You pioneered and spearheaded that whole thing, and it was so much fun.
It was really fun. It's a different ballgame because you guys are listening and watching us banter.
Voiceover reviews.
It's a different.
Where it's like commentating over gameplay.
This was us the whole time. Red Dead Redemption 2.
I was nervous.
I was nervous.
This is fine.
You didn't mess up once. I didn't have to edit one thing you did. You had a perfect take.
No, the one take was a joint mess up.
Nope. I coughed. That's it.
All right, stop being genuine.
But yeah, we're gonna have a video review up soon, guys.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Of the night. Yeah.
So we've got a comment earlier saying, I'm thinking about getting Red Dead, but I'm not sure is it worth it. So hopefully we'll touch on that in our segment. But we'd love to just say yes.
Yes.
If you're on the fence, it is. Think about this. You're paying $1 for every hour. Like the game is so big. Like you'll find your value in the money. I mean, if you want to wait, if $60 is a bigger price, like I understand. Black Friday's coming out, Christmas is coming around the corner. Like, if it's a price, like yeah, wait. But if it's like about the game, if something you're seeing is you're worried about it, or it's good.
And I still think it's gonna be the best single player option in November amidst Fallout, amidst Battlefield.
You're just hating on those games.
I will.
I know.
It's Red Dead.
I know. Yeah.
And I have $5,000 in the game. I only spent $60 on it. Not to mention, for every $1 made in $18.99, because of inflation, it equals $28 now.
Okay, so now you're a millionaire.
So I'm like rolling in the dough. But that makes sense because if you get like a $15 bounty in the game, it's $18.99 times 28. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like if I had that big of a bounty on my head
right now,
I would try to find a way to turn myself in so I could get the money.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
But
all right, so updates.
Okay, so do we want to spoiler the story in our updates or just kind of keep it vague?
Let's keep it vague until we get word from our audience that we can spoil it. But since the last time we talked, how many hours have we put in since then?
I don't know.
Because I put in double, like
at least easily double.
And when I say that, because when the first time we reviewed it, we were a little bit on the fence. Like if you could tell from us, we loved the idea, we loved a lot of it, but some of the execution wasn't there, and I think that was preventing me from like desperately wanting to get back to the game. You know when you get a new game and you just like you play it for a little bit and then you put it on the shelf and you just go on your life and you're like, I need to play it. Some of that was preventing that, I think, on our first initial impressions.
Slowest build up in a game ever.
Yeah, but since when we last talked, like I feel like our playthrough, our playtime, just literally, the hours have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Like, what do you think? What has been growing on you? Like, what?
Everything, man. Yeah. Everything. I understand. Here's what I understand that I originally didn't. Okay. It took me 3 hours to even understand the menu system and the weapon system and where everything was.
Yeah.
Because it's very in depth. And then the map and what quests mean what and when to do them. I had no clue how to do that. Now I do. Yeah. And I will so seamlessly push the right buttons and be able to do what I need to do. Yeah. And it's effective. The cinematic camera moving from A to B is cake, man. And the companion app on your phone, you can pull up the map on your phone or iPad, your second device, so the HUD elements on your screen are gone. They are now on your phone, so you actually have to look down at your phone to see the map, and it moves and it's interactive. It's awesome. It's actually not like a gimmick.
It's crazy. Here's a hot take. One of my favorite moments of the game is when I have to travel to a point because I can put it on cinematic and just watch the game.
And it's like you're watching a movie, Andrew.
And isn't it?
And I've gone up to go to the bathroom and I'll come back and I'm there.
It's so cool. And when we first talked, we were like, that's the worst. I hate it. Like if I have to go
because we didn't know.
I know.
We just straight up did not know.
Our favorite it's crazy. It's crazy.
For our listeners, for everyone else out there, arguably it might be an even better game to buy it a week or two in when now you have the wikis and the videos and the helpful hints because we had to figure it out ourselves.
That's true. We did not know anything.
No. No, I'm embarrassed for my first couple of hours, but now it's like I'm a veteran, and you find the best horses, you find the best clothing and outfits, and like right now I'm leaning left on the morality scale. So if I go into a store, the best looking outfits are locked. It says improve your honor to buy this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
because I'm a little guy.
I bet you could buy it. So the funny part is I could just hold up the store and steal it if I but I haven't done that yet. I'm trying to save my money and not pay off a bunch of bounties, but
it's awesome. I was exploring back in Valentine, which is the first main kind of town you go to, and one of the doors on one of the establishments was locked, and I was kind of confused. And I was walking through my camp, and one of the companions said something. I didn't even go up to her. I just heard her from sitting. She was like, "Yeah, I heard that down at the doctor shop they were doing something shady," and I was like,
"Yep,
that's what There's no, like, how did you know?" It was like weird. So then I went back to investigate, and a little marker comes up, and it's like, investigate further. And I'm like, oh,
I just got
I'm at the edge of my seat.
I just got chills from you saying those words.
I look through the window, and there's a guy counting money, and then on my screen it says, businesses do shady things, now you know. And I was like, now I know. Right. What else don't I know?
Yeah.
And it was just like...
It's so cool. And the main story progression, and the moving of camps, and the discovering of families and dynamics, and sheriff offices, and deputies and stuff.
Yeah, so what do you think about the story? Like, if we're just talking, if this was planned out as a movie, would you like this movie?
Way better than GTA's story.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you didn't like GTA's story?
Well, that might be a whole different conversation.
Okay.
I love GTA for certain things, but as a whole game, I thought it was overhyped. And I'll leave that hot.
Interesting.
I'll leave that hot take.
No, yeah. Online saved the reputation of that game, in my opinion. Okay. But I didn't like, so it was split. Trevor, Franklin, and man, what's his name? Mike or Mark or something basic.
Some rich white guy.
What is his name? Oh my god.
Someone help us out, but we'll just say
anyway,
Mark,
I didn't like Franklin's story.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that was you're following 3 main characters, and it was just exhausting at times, the campaign. I remember feeling like, oh, I need to finish it so I can say I finished it.
Yeah.
Red Dead is not like that.
Yeah.
You are one main character, but you're not, and you mentioned this, you're not the central hero of the group. Yes. You're among the group, mid-tier.
I love that.
And the other characters around you, Dutch and everyone he is leading, and you get to watch him make decisions and be almost his, like, advisee.
It's awesome.
It reminds me of Doug from House of Cards back in the day. Do you remember his role of, like,
ooh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes total sense.
And it feels so cool to be a part of that at that level.
Yeah.
The other main characters of the story, incredible. Every supporting actor
in your camp is like, they deserve their own game.
Yeah.
Except Micah. I freaking hate Micah.
Who is that?
Micah's the hot-headed guy you have to break out of jail.
Oh, yeah, okay. The little boy, too, kind of just ticks me off because he's a little boy.
Come fishing with me.
Yeah, I'm like, if you don't know how to fish by yourself at this point, I will tie you to the end of that rod and throw you in.
Yeah, and so that's what's interesting. So, like, the order of quests is a little bit up to you. And so I had done. I had multiple quests unlocked at one point, and I decided to do that fishing quest. Spoiler, you take a little boy fishing. I mean, that's not spoilers, but you go and you do a little fishing.
Yeah.
And then he has a father, but you go fishing with him. I did a quest with his father right after that, and his father made a comment about, he was like, well, why did you take him fishing? But both of those quests were unlocked at the same time, so it wasn't necessary to do one first, which I thought was awesome.
Wait, he came at you for fishing with the kid?
He was pissed.
No. Are you serious?
He was so upset.
He wasn't mad at me at all. I had to say, hey, I went fishing with your kid. And he was like, I don't care.
Bro, this is
and that's what I'm saying. Red Dead. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
No, he was like, I saw that you were fishing and I was like, what? He was like, you're not the dad. And I was like,
Dude, this guy did not want to be the father in my story. He was passive and I was like, wake up.
So if you're listening or watching, and you want to know if you should buy the game,
the answer is yes. Because every experience is so unique and different.
That is crazy. Now I'm just thinking about like what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I had a 2.5 hour game session where I didn't progress at all. I just went way north, found a dope horse, and brought it back.
Yeah.
That was it, and it was so worth it and so fun. You could do anything you want. It is bigger than GTA. It plays like GTA. Characters are better. The story is better. You must get it.
Wow.
And check out our review, dude. Just watch the review because it doesn't spoil it. It shows you what you're getting into.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's a
anyway.
good comprehensive look at it. Do we have frustrations with the game still? Like, our frustrations comparative to when we last spoke?
Okay. They have declined significantly.
Sure.
But they still happen, man.
Yeah.
When I fall off my horse because of a small little rock or a tree, there are still silly glitches. The GTA classic glitches that are funny and ridiculous. It ain't funny when you're single player playing the campaign. It's funny when you're online and you see somebody's shoe go flying or their pants fly off. But when you're in the campaign and your horse trips out and runs into a tree and then you lose half your health and it's so realistic and graphic that it's like, this is going to take me a brick.
Yeah.
That's a little frustrating.
Yeah. I think that I want to see, and I don't know if this is the type of Red Dead is, and I'm still like waiting to find out, but with this story, like we've already talked about and seen, little things will change. I'm interested to see how big things will change. And I'm interested to see how the story changes because right now the consequences are pretty standard. Like you go rob a train and then the camp has to move, and that makes sense. But like, I want to see something where I'm actually, it's nice to not be the head honcho, but I'm interested to see this escalate because I think right now there's a lot of exposition still.
Sure.
Even in chapter 3, I'm still seeing a lot of exposition as I basically almost out of chapter 3 to chapter 4. Like, I don't know how many chapters it is.
I was going to ask you. I heard 5 once. I'd rather not look it up.
I'd rather not either.
Whatever.
But I'm waiting for a little bit of escalation to the point where like Arthur has to really choose because one thing that you said in passing was like, do I need to make allegiances? Like, do I need to like care about one character more? And like, I would like that would be so cool to not be the guy in charge and be like, you leave camp, but to be like under the main guy and be like, I side with you. If this goes south, like I want to be with you. Like that to me would be so cool.
Yeah. And I think more divisions are happening in the story, and I'm just excited to get through it. But again, I'll have moments where I'm grinding on the story, and then moments where I'm not.
Oh yeah.
And it's great. I love it. But
it's a huge world. And like you could literally
just
lose
do it. Again, I watched the Fortnite culture stream because I would have been left out otherwise. You are left out if you don't buy Red Dead. Straight up.
Straight up.
Straight up. Dude, shout out to our patrons, Andrew, that are supporting us and making all this worth it.
We love you.
October was so fun. I just gave away the final giveaway over the weekend, the Fortnite decal to our man Rosser. We also have made a bro. A bro. Okay? He's a community member, and he is on YouTube. Okay, he's on Instagram. He does a lot of this stuff, and he's been doing a lot of this stuff.
Been doing it.
He seems super experienced, super cool guy. I kind of hit it off with him on social media.
Thousands of views.
He's called Derek Lyons.
Woo woo.
Okay, so you can find him on YouTube. You can subscribe to his channel. It's Derek Lyons, no space.
He captures lions on camera.
That's what it is. He just finds a bunch of dudes named Derek.
He has a Call of Duty review that's just pretty good that I watched.
In all seriousness, check out his stuff. He's excited for us and he's supporting us as well. We want to be here together and again, just embrace that community idea for sure. Next week on X, Y, and Z, Andrew, I want to do a Black Friday deal roundup because they are coming out, dude.
Exciting.
And you and I could talk our ears off about.
And also, we're not just like telling you like we're we're gonna be
your boys shopping.
You'll be swayed, we'll be swayed.
Your
like
boys
this
shopping.
is all community kind of effort.
Second thing I want to do next week: Game of the Year nominees roundup.
Oh boy.
I know that's a little early, but it's not really.
No, it's not.
Because the best games have come out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So we can definitely talk about that. I'll also do kind of a industry schedule for what we have the remainder of the year. Game releases for November and December. The Game Awards coming up, I think December again. I've been watching them live the past couple of years.
Ooh.
So fun.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, so fun.
I'm
You
looking
don't want
forward
to miss
to
that. We will do that. A lot of cool stuff coming from Media Interactive. Some
Our-
cool stuff in the mail on the way here. And I'm just very excited to reveal that in the future.
We're really excited for things. Also, our facial hair is going to be growing because it's November.
I am okay. I wanted to talk to you about this briefly. I'm gonna shave my rat stash and my neck hair, but keep everything else.
Do it, dude.
And then see how far I get.
You guys will watch live, which is another reason to subscribe because you can watch.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Media Interactive. Everything goes up. You can join live once you're
become a
alerted that we're
patron
streaming.
and watch what happens to our facial hair.
Yeah. Exactly. That's,
like Red Dead. This is like we're living Red Dead.
Yeah. And dude, check out our Red Dead review. It's gonna be up on YouTube. Andrew worked on it. It was so fun. That game. I love it.
Yeah, and we heard in the chat too. I forgot to mention that we had some people say they'd love to be on the podcast with us. So be looking forward to that because we definitely want to have you guys a part of this. We want you to be sitting here, guys. We've been doing this for a month.
There is room.
So fun.
Contrary to spatial belief, there is room.
We could we'll just we'll be here with you.
You could basically lay across our arms.
Yeah.
And we could nestle you.
And here's what we need. We know that Fortnite is the culture. We need someone who plays Fortnite all the time.
Yeah.
To tell us a lot about Fortnite.
I would love to be convinced to play it again.
And this is why this is a community, and this is why we do media interactive, so that you guys can sit here on the chat. The chat has been really popping today.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
I love those dudes so much.
And
they're awesome.
Just things to look forward to.
You just be a part of it. You just be a part of it. And when you're a patron, you'll get name shout outs on all these podcasts. People will mention you. It's been great.
It's been a blast.
I'll
be playing Red Dead right after this.
Oh, you better. I can't. I love you. I love being here. I can't wait to go play Red Dead.
And then I get like a weird draw when I play. Like,
yeah.
My mom will say something. I'm like, "What'd you say, man?"
I'm close to being a little bit snappy with people, Arthur Morgan style.
Oh boy.
But
next time we'll have cowboy hats and stuff. It'd be great.
Awesome. Hey, much love.
Peace, love, and.
You're demoted. All right. Much love. Much love. Keep gaming.